Well, it's time for the Steckline Report. Sure glad you could join us, friends. And I've got a special guest that's joined me. We're going to talk about things like interest rates and a few things like that, which is pretty important to all of us. Stay tuned.
Every father would like to have their son farm with them and grandson and continue to farm. It's kind of a legacy, I guess. And then my dad was a farmer, and then, of course, then I am and my son. So actually, Jackson, would be the fifth generation from my grandfather. It's going to be key for us to have American Ag Credit. It's a long-term partnership with him is what it is.
Our special guest from American Ag Credit, Greg Reno again. Second time around for us, Greg, and I want to talk to you about, let's start off with interest rates, because every time I look at the feds and everybody talking, it's going to happen. This time, December. And it's December.
As we approach the end of the year, Larry, I think the pressure continues to mount for the Fed to do something with interest rates. They've maintained a very neutral policy for a very long time, and I think the pressure is starting to mount for them to do something with interest rates.
So if you were out here trying to make a living on lower price cattle and grain, and you need to borrow a little money, do you think now's the time to get her done, or is it cheaper now? If let's just say they raise it 0.25%, I don't think they're going to do much more than that. Is that going to make a major difference to you guys?
Really, Larry, at 0.25%, we really don't see that making or breaking an operation. That's not a major move in the market. The other thing to keep in mind is the market's kind of already built in a lot of the anticipated rate hike into the price. So I really don't see a whole lot of movement in terms of retail rates if the Fed does move here late in 2015.
Greg, they just had Farm Credit's big meeting back in Washington, wasn't it, with the feds and everybody else that's supposedly around. Anything come out of there that new?
Nothing new, Larry. Farm Credit's got a great story to tell. We've been around for 99, going on 100 years now, serving farmers and ranchers. And what I got out of that is, the Ag Committee is very pleased with what we're doing in Farm Credit. We're managing safely and soundly the risk in our portfolios. We're serving all of agriculture, from young beginning and small farmers to the largest farmers. We're an integral part of this industry, and I think that's what Congress intended for us.
There was a little slap in the face, wasn't there, about non-farming loans?
Congress gave us the authority to use what they call similar entity loans, and that's really to help provide a consistent flow of funds to some of those industries. While not directly eligible for Farm Credit funding, they're integral and important to agriculture, so we use that authority for those kinds of things.
No changes, though?
No changes, though.
Okay, you ought to be a little bit nervous about this thing called crop insurance. My gosh, they beat it around in Washington like a basketball. I guess we've got it whipped. I thought we had it whipped before the highway bill. Now the highway bill is the one that's going to save us, I guess. What do you hear?
What I hear, Larry, right now is that we're kind of through the worst part of this, and Congress is going to move to restore the funding for crop insurance. And certainly we want to recognize the leaders that we have from Kansas, back in Washington, and other states where agriculture is very important. Those folks have stepped up and really helped continue to provide that safety net for our farmers and ranchers. It's so critical to them.
It's the only thing they've got back there for us that makes a lot of sense.
That's right.
Although the farm bill, the payment that I got did help, but it had to help your constituents.
We saw a lot of pay down as a result of those government payments coming in this fall. So we're very pleased to see that, especially in a year where we needed that.
That's exactly right. So our hats off to those congressmen and senators who did something about that, right?
Absolutely. We couldn't do it without them. We appreciate their support.
That's Greg Reno, American Ag Credit, and I'm Larry Steckline. See you next time.